Five Nights at Freddy's World is released? God damn. I'm gonna have to review it. Install. Play. Fingers crossed. I can't see anymore. It hurts. It hurts. Five Nights at Freddy's World is an RPG developed and published by Scott Cawthon. This is the latest installment in the now infamous Five Nights at Freddy's franchise, and it's the 5th game in the franchise. And nobody asked for this game. Now, I am a huge supporter of these games because they are original. They are the first game had an original idea, it was well done, and we all appreciated it. But then it got a little bit stale with its sequels until the 4th one came out, the final one. And it was pretty good, I'm not gonna lie, it was a pretty decent horror game. And now we have this game, which pretty much feels like a fan service game. Unlike the other games where they were set inside a pizzeria or a haunted place where there are these animatronics robots that are trying to kill you, this time it's actually set in a fantasy world. Or is it? Where you actually go around playing as different characters from the Five Nights at Freddy's game, like Freddy Fazbear, Chica, Foxy, and etc. Some weird things have been happening and you have to discover what really is going on in this world, and there are weird glitches and there are fourth wall breaks. Unlike the other games that had a really actually interesting story hidden in the background with really good details, this game I didn't find it as interesting as the other ones, and the story was also pretty badly written. I did not give a crap about what was happening. And while the ending was actually pretty interesting, most of the time I just didn't care about the story, and thankfully there isn't much of it. So let's go to the graphics. As I've also seen from the intro, this game was hurting my eyes, and it did give a lot of people headaches and other things. It's just seizure inducing. It's not all that pretty to look at. I did not like a little bit the animations, but the characters are weirdly rendered into the background. There are mixtures of 8-bit graphics, weird computer animated ones under paint backgrounds. It's just a really weird game to look at, and it's not pleasing to the eye at all. And I did not enjoy looking at this game. The graphics are really poor and really not all that well done in my opinion. Really bad actually. The gameplay is weird because I actually kind of enjoyed the gameplay. It's basically the Final Fantasy VII style of combat. Before you can use an action, you actually have to wait for a timer to fill up. And unlike the Final Fantasy games, the timer is hidden from the player. So you never know if it's actually going up, how fast it's going, and that isn't really all that great in my opinion. Also, a lot of the abilities are the same for every single character. I didn't really feel like changing the parties all that much, because in the end you just keep leveling up every single character. You get annoyed quite a lot exploring the world map. Almost every 5 or 6 seconds there is a new enemy that's attacking you, or there is a boss fight, or there is something, and it gets pretty annoying, especially because some fights are extremely fast. They go by like that in an instant. 3 seconds, you already killed everyone. And then there are fights, for example, when you have to unlock new characters, you get into a fight with that character. For example, if you want Balloon Boy just appears and you have to fight him like he's a boss. And that takes way too fucking time. Like 4 or 5 minutes of just doing the exact same combinations. Attack, heal your team, attack, heal your team, attack, heal your team, attack, heal your team. then you just go, I don't give a damn anymore, and it becomes pretty boring. But it was also kind of interesting at first, and I didn't really mind all that much the absence of some explanations. What does every single attack that you have do? That isn't really explained in the game. Also, if you want to check on your party, you have to sit through a loading screen. If you have to check out some of the different items that you collect, you have to go through a loading screen, and that's pretty annoying. And I didn't find the entire game to be all that interesting, but at the same time it wasn't really all that bad, and I was kind of enjoying myself, especially in the first 30 minutes or so, so I guess it's fine. The game isn't really challenging, but neither absurdly easy or hard. Some of the normal fights are extremely fast, and you finish them really quickly because you overpower every single enemy in them. Or you actually get in a fight with some boss or someone else that sometimes take 10 minutes to beat. And that becomes extremely frustrating and boring, and in the end some of the characters that you have to battle are extremely overpowered, and you have to keep just attacking every single normal enemy just to get more XP, just to get more money, just so that you can actually beat that freaking boss. And the final parts of the game are extremely frustrating, and they were not fun at all. The sound is incredibly upbeat. The music was pretty damn good in the beginning, but after 10 minutes I knew what I was getting into. I was getting into a game with pretty solid music that's incredibly repetitive. And I can't stand listening to the same happy music for even 3 or 4 hours of my time. That's just way too much, Scott. That's way too much. It's good music, but goddamn it's repetitive. And some of the sound effects aren't all that great, sometimes actually they're pretty damn bad. So even the sound department isn't good. Replayability. You can have normal mode or hard mode. And after that, you can actually decide to play in a different way. We'll just have 2 fixed parties. That means that you can't change your party members. That's a fun idea, but I don't want to play this game again. I really don't. I'm fine having spent, what, 5 or 6 hours, I don't even care. I don't even care anymore. Overall, FNaF Freddy's World is not all that great of a game. Some people are loving it, some are hating it. I'm just in the middle. It's an average RPG, it doesn't have deep mechanics, it's not pleasing to look at, it's not all that fun, especially after you've been playing it for a while. I just don't give it. I just look at it, I don't give it. I don't give a fuck anymore. Yeah. Thanks for watching, like, comment, subscribe, see you in the next video.